Testing. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. A quick audio check ahead of kickoff here at Langdon Stadium. Round 24 action ahead of us here. Blacktown City playing host to St George City. Kickoff scheduled for 3 p.m.
round 24 action so far this weekend. Friday, Sydney FC 0, Man United 0. Yesterday's fixtures, Arpia 5, defeated Western Sydney Warriors 3. NSW 3, defeated Spirit 1. Sutherland Sharks 1, Sydney Olympic 1. SC Raiders 3, defeated Wollongong Wolves 2. Rockdale Littleton 6, St George FC 1. There are your results from around the grounds so far this weekend.
Good afternoon and a very, very warm welcome indeed to Landon Stadium in Seven Hills ahead of kickoff here for round 24 action as we creep towards the conclusion of the 2026 campaign. It is Blacktown City playing host to St George City for your Sunday afternoon. Pete Pryor alongside you this afternoon. Absolute pleasure to have your company. As it always is, of course, wherever it is in the world you may be tuning in from. Well, the team news is in for both sides. Two changes for the hosts this afternoon. Mark Crittenden's side line up as follows. In goals, number 20, Cooper Rogers. Number 4, Nick O'Brien. The 5, James Nikolovsky. 6, Adam Berry. 7, and skipper, Travis Major. 10, Maxim Yej. 11, Kodai Tanaka. 14, Mitch Malia. 17, Sash Kuzevsky. 27, Nathan Grimaldi, and 45, Alo Kwong. So out drop Caleb Jackson-Brown and Jacob Maniti from the side which dispatched of Southern District Raiders last week. In come Adam Berry and Maxim Yej for St George City, ringing the changes themselves. 4 in total. They line up as follows. In goal, of course, Jack Kenny. 3, Ben Berry. The 4, Solomon John Monaghan Vaika. 8, Stefano Rossello. 9, Lucas Bedleg. 11, Ben Giassen. 16, Jon Pedersen. 17, Mason Tatafu. 25, Brody Clarkson. 30, Gideon Arok. And 33, Louis Curry. Paolo Mitri, Tep, Malik Amin, and Bassam Sabah all out from the side which suffered defeats last time out against the University of New South Wales. In come Rossello, Bedleg, Tatafu, and Curry. Two sides with a bit of history between them. It wasn't all that long ago that these two sides were facing off in finals football, of course. A different scenario with 3 points absolutely critical this afternoon for both sides as they look to try and put some distance between the bottom two. Of course, currently occupied by Sydney Olympic at the foot of the table and St George FC. Just moments away from kickoff here at London. A peep of the whistle and away we go. Here in round 24, Blacktown getting us underway, kicking from left to right on your screens. Tanaka just hoisting one forward. Ben Berry will rise to meet it with his head. Well, Blacktown, of course, busy in the mid-season window. Headlined by the signings of James Nikolovsky, of course, Alo Kowal and Sasha Kozevsky, both former Central Coast Mariners, both treble winners. Kozevsky himself a two-time A-League champion as well. So they look to try and turn around their fortunes, and they've been good value. Securing points in consecutive weeks since those signings. Here's O'Brien. Back with one of those new signings there, James Nikolovsky. I believe was tuned into the Central Coast United broadcast last night as well. Keeping an eye on all the goings on around the grounds. That one, of course, in the League Two men's competition. Crossfield switch of play there from Adam Berry. Not quite hitting the mark. He's looking for a teammate on that far touchline in the form of Major. Here's Kozevsky. Turned and thought about going forward initially, but the space closed down around him by a former teammate there in Louis Curry. Those two, of course, were in the Central Coast Mariners Academy for some time together. Rogers clipping one forward towards the head of Qual, who rises to meet it. Always so effective in the air, and here comes Mitch Malia with a bit of space to operate in on that right side of the penalty area. Has Kozevsky supporting. He looks to measure the cross. Flattish sort of delivery, repelled. Now St George look to get forward immediately. Here's Bedleg. Forced wide by Nikolovsky, able to deliver the cross. Cooper Rogers happy to watch that float harmlessly over the crossbar. Well, you may notice on the back of Blacktown's jerseys this week, of course, the Livin' for Levi in support of Levi Rodenberg, who tragically recently passed. If you are able, of course, to jump on the socials handle Livin' for Levi over on Instagram, showing support to try and find a cure for childhood cancer. Here's Kozevsky. A wonderful initiative, of course, from Blacktown City, showing support there. Kozevsky working the levers to find his former teammate and current teammate there, of course, the feet of Alo Kowal. Here's Yesh. Awkwardly sort of spun away from the feet of Nick O'Brien. He'll win the throw regardless. Kozevsky tasked again to hoist it back into play. Pressure effective enough there from Sash Kozevsky on Jon Pedersen. Pedersen again forcing it into touch, and a series of consecutive throw-ins here for Blacktown City. Kuzevsky again closed down by Louis Curry. Grimaldi. Nikolovsky looking to show off his range of passing now, looking for Alo Kuol. It is knotted clear as far as Gideon Arok, who will help it on with his head. Grimaldi, the aggressor there, felling Jon Pedersen, and St George City very keen, very eager to get things on the move. Kuzevsky wants an offside, which won't be forthcoming. He's able to effect the challenge and continue his protests after the fact. St George City nearly catching Blacktown napping there. They'll have a corner for their endeavours. First of the afternoon here as we tick into the 6th minute. Packed penalty area as the corner is swung in towards the near post. Knotted clear. Danger's not quite dealt with just yet. It runs under the feet of Arok though, which relieves a lot of the pressure, and Tanaka is dragged back, is he? Yes, he is indeed. Well, Blacktown just want to get things on the move via throw-in. Be forced back to take the free kick, I believe. Sides just feeling each other out somewhat in the opening exchanges here at Landon. Almost feels a little cagey at times. Both sides aware of what's at stake. Both sides level on points as things stand. Blacktown ahead by virtue of their superior goal difference. Here's Yej. Curling sort of delivery towards Kuol. Arok gets there and nods it. It's a real puzzle for Jack Kenny to try and figure out, but he does ever so well to do just that. Slips as he releases the ball low, and Kuzevsky able to steal in. Yej quickly across. Nick O'Brien will look to utilise Malia here. Wants to isolate his defender. Rolled into the penalty area. Major trying to close down to Tafu. Tatafu's done ever so well to keep it in the field of play and find a teammate there as well. A smart little back heel from Pedersen. Grimaldi quickly scampering across, playing covering defender there. Had to be as well. It's Ben Berry. Bedleg. Pedersen. This is nice. The finish not matching though. Nice little intricate sequence in the build-up there from St George City. Able to work their combinations to great effect. Unfortunately, from their perspective, the finish not matching the quality of the build-up. They have perhaps settled the better of the two. So far, still a lot of football yet to be played as Curry, final touches off the head of Louis Curry there. Nikolovsky just rolling it back to the feet of his gloveman. Kuol has Tatafu in his back. Kuol chesting it back to Kuzevsky. Nikolovsky will just help it on to Nick O'Brien. He'll take the space offered to him and skip around the attention and affection of Jon Pedersen. It's Grimaldi. Switching it to Sasha Kuzevsky. Those two great friends, of course, off the field as well. It was Grimaldi who played a huge influence on Sasha Kozebski's signing here at Blacktown City. Former teammates, of course, a decade or so ago, back at Marconi in the under-15 system. Round the corner it goes from Malia, trying to link up with Kozebski. The two number 17s in Kozebski and Tatafu now will battle for it. Kozebski always snapping away at the heels of Tatafu. St George able to play it across their back line before Jason is closed down by Alo Kuol. This is, of course, one of two matches taking place in the state's top flight for your Sunday afternoon here in round 24. Elsewhere, of course, at the Palace, Marconi playing host to Sydney United. That one also locked up, all square at 0-0. St George looking to make some inroads, getting forward again. Just sort of rolls under the feet there of Rossello. He's able to dig it out and get a strike away, but it was blocked off. Meanwhile, in the Football New South Wales League One men's competition, also one match unfolding there. Central Coast Mariners playing host to Northern Tigers at Pluham Park. Northern Tigers have taken the lead there, about 20 or so minutes gone on the Central Coast. Major, oh, that's intelligent from Major to link up with Malia. Quol's made a run, getting forward. Yej will receive it and now look to stand the cross up. Really fizzed in, actually. Strike will come at the end of it and flashing across the face of goal. It will be a corner for Blacktown City, their first of the afternoon. First real sort of sight of goal for Blacktown City. Kozebski will come across to offer a short option for Yej from the corner. Apologies, that's not Kozebski, that's Adam Berry. Regardless, whipped into the back post. Fired goalwards to the head of Kuol, who nods just over. Well, we did mention earlier in the piece how effective Alo Kuol can be in the air. It came at him ever so quickly there. Very difficult to try and crane the neck muscles to guide it goalwards when it does come at you that quickly. Kuol, meanwhile, continuing his press. Final touch, though, off the toe of Alo Kuol. You have to wonder if the initial effort was goal-bound before reaching the head of Kuol. You have to wonder whether Jack Kenny may have had it covered. We'll never know. Tussle there between Bedleg and Nikolovsky. Nikolovsky winning out. Clarkson will help it on to Jason, who will look to launch another raid forward immediately. Grimaldi, strongest in the air. Nick O'Brien. Jack Kenny's had to come a long way to claim it. Under no real sort of pressure, though. Clarkson. Monahan Viker wanting it on this near touchline. May receive it in a roundabout sort of way. He does indeed. He's able to turn it around the corner to great effect as well. Jon Pedersen now. Louis Curry. What's cooking here for St George? A delivery from Louis Curry all too deep. Tanaka not quite able to deal with it to real effect though. Rossello closed him down, but the final touch again coming off the body of Stefano Rossello.
Stay here. Stay out here.
Thrown towards Travis Major, tried to help it on to Alo Kuol.
Back here.
Blacktown City able to gain some territory via successive throw-ins. Grimaldi again will have another chance to hoist it back into play here. The pinball there off the head of Jason into the back of the head of Alo Kuol. In the end, the same sort of result there. Another throw in. Smack bang on halfway. Yej will flick it on. Kuol does well to link up with their teammates, and it's fizzed out in the direction of Mitchell Malia. Over the head of Monahan Viker. Malia, smart little nutmeg. Malia! It was a smart save out of Jack Kenny at his near post. Here's Kuzevsky. All the way back to O'Brien. That latest effort from Malia perhaps sparking Blacktown into life a little bit. Adam Berry. Majors made the channel run. He will receive it as well and pull it in towards Alo Kuol. Repelled again only as far as Adam Berry. Yesh. O'Brien and Kuzevsky combining. Kuzevsky again. Couldn't quite stick the pass, but it will find the feet of Travis Major now, who looks to get around the outside and inside of Mason Tatafu and does just that. Whoa! Just like that! Alo Kuol with his first goal for Blacktown City, and look at what it means. Rising highest in the 6-yard box, as he has so often over the years. An unerring finish from Alo Kuol, and Blacktown hit the front. Well, credit must go as well, of course, to the fantastic endeavour and industry from Travis Major, who really made the goal. Wonderfully worked assist from the Blacktown City captain, leading by example. He had Tatafu isolated, was able to play the ball around the outside, run around the inside, receive it himself. The delivery was inch perfect. And the finish, as we said, unerring. What can St George conjure in response? Rossello, who looked to help it on there to Bedleg. Have a throw in for their efforts. Long throw is coming towards the head of Bedleg. It's not clear by Grimaldi initially. Monahan Viker will strike. Well, it's a piece of over-enthusiastic goalkeeping perhaps there from Cooper Rogers, just ensuring that he had all the angles covered. Monahan Viker perhaps didn't get the purchase he may have hoped for on the strike. They look spectacular when they come off. It's Kuol again able to chest it down to Major. It's Gideon Arok stepping in though to take control. Giassen. Arok again. Clarkson under some pressure there from Kuol. Clarkson cool as you like, rolling it to the feet of Tatafu. Arok. Ben Berry now. Just about everyone back behind the ball here for Blacktown City, as St George look to try and push and probe and poke a hole. No avenues afforded to them getting forward though. Blacktown just occupying the vertical passing lanes. Speaking of vertical, that's a long ball forward there from Jack Kenny. Nikolovsky. Well, I was going to say Nikolovsky rising to meet it, but it looks like the final touch there off Jon Pedersen. Travis Major dragged back by Tatafu, legally so. Hoisted back in by Corey. Emphatic sort of clearance that from Sash Kozewski. Big up and under, and Gideon Arok just waiting to meet it with his head, but only succeeds in nodding it into touch. Perhaps had enough time to actually bring that one down and get it back on the deck there, Arok. Kozewski just directing traffic before hoisting it towards Travis Major. Couldn't secure possession though, Major. He's asking the question of the linesperson on this near touch line, feeling that the final touch was off Tatafu. Regardless, it will be a St George City throw in. Grimaldi again sending it forward. It's another tussle between Tatafu and Major. This is a fascinating battle between the two of them. Keep your eye on that one as the contest continues. Kozewski all the way back to Nikolovsky. Across the back it goes. Grimaldi has Kozewski on this near touch line if he can find him. Instead looks for Mitchell Malia in the half space. Monahan Viker had to be alert to it and was, but forced to nod it behind for another Blacktown City corner. Delivery has been dangerous from the wide areas so far in the opening half of the first stanza. Mitch Malia standing over this one this time. A wicked left foot. Hello Qualls inserted himself right on top of Jack Kenny. We'll go towards the back stick. Nodded forward by Major and cleared off the line just about at the last. Another Blacktown City corner. Can't help but feel like they've well and truly settled into this one now. It was perhaps St George, the visitors, that had the better of the early opening exchanges in the first 10 or so minutes. Blacktown City firing themselves into the ascendancy via the head of Alo Qual. Again, swung in near post this time. Nodded just about off the goal line. Adam Berry couldn't quite secure possession. Travis Major will look to do that by sending it all the way back to his goalkeeper. Here's Yesh. Cooper Rogers will look to go long towards Malia again, who will flick it on. Major. Again, it's another tussle between he and Tatafu. Major winning out. Here's Kozewski. Might look to burn down this near touch line. Oh, that's a nice little nutmeg as well on Monahan Viker. Tatafu seizing control. Both Monahan Viker and Major seemingly losing it. It will pop out kindly though for Malia. Berry. Might just look to increase the ball speed a little bit here, Blacktown City. Tanaka. O'Brien. Need to try and get through that first line of press. Well, they can't. It's straight to the feet of Arok. Here's Rossello. Spinning and twisting and turning and trying to weave through traffic, but Alo Qual not shirking his defensive duties. Halts that advance. Here comes Berry. Adam Berry, of course. Malia Kozewski assessing the options. Here's Kozewski. Final touch there off Brody Clarkson into touch. Kozewski intelligently hoisting it in quickly towards Malia, who takes it all the way to the byline before pulling it into the 6-yard box, and that could have ended up anywhere. Gideon Arok with just a swipe on that one. Behind it goes for another corner, in spite of the protests from the St George City bench. Apologies if any of that language is coming through. We can perhaps hear the protests coming through. Again, apologies as the corner is swung in to the 6-yard box. Pops out for Major. Now Yesh! Wound up for an absolute age there. St George City bench, meanwhile, still absolutely apoplectic.
Did you see possible out before? Did you not see it? No.
Referee Adrian Arndt, totally unfazed, unperplexed. And on we go to Tafu. Nikolovsky gets his head to it first. Here's Kuzevsky. Clicks forwards, only to find his opposite number 17 in Tafu, but he can only succeed in finding Adam Berry. Tanaka. Perhaps could have taken the space afforded to him, just not to secure possession. Adam Berry will help it on to Grimaldi and all the way back to Rogers in goal. Qual nods it down. Tatafu again gets there first. Louis Curry tussling, tangoing with Yej. Major, Malia. Qual's made a run again across that front line. It might find him here in a roundabout sort of way. Well, no, it finds touch. Clarkson. Now Rossello. The pass is all too far ahead of Giasson. It finds Tanaka. Giasson affecting the challenge. Looked like he knew where that was headed as soon as it left his boot there, Brody Clarkson. Clarkson this time sticks the pass to the feet of Ben Berry. Giasson, Arok, immediately swarmed upon by a sea of Blacktown City shirts. St George able to hoist it forwards. Monahan Vaika doesn't have the beating of Sash Kuzevsky. That's a very strong challenge from Kuzevsky, who, well, felt he had his legs taken away from him. Adrian Arndt says nothing doing. Tatafu and Monahan Vaika. Clarkson. Again, intricate interplay in the build-up from St George City, but Blacktown City getting their defensive shape and structure back quickly enough. Clarkson looking for that raking crossfield diag. Pulls it off with aplomb that time. Giasson will hook it over his shoulder. Straight over the byline. Well, into the 30th minute here at Landon Stadium. If you are just joining us here in round 24, absolute pleasure to have your company this afternoon. Pete Pryor with you to soundtrack your Sunday afternoon. Blacktown leading by that solitary goal, courtesy of the head of Alo Qual, who will look to rise to meet it here as well. It's Tatafu who has the beating of Kuala in the jump that time. Here's Arok. Able to skip around Elo Kuala and link up with Jason, who will now look to invert. Bedleg. Arok again. Jason. Again converged upon by a couple of Blacktown City players as Major has his legs taken away from him. Viker guessing they're ahead of Malia and then rides a challenge of Malia and looks to skip around Yej. Malia quickly back to his feet to effect the challenge though on Monahan Viker. As we said earlier in the piece, victory for either side today would represent a monumental step forward as both sides look to try and drag themselves away from that relegation scrap. Both sides coming into this one 6 points clear of both St George and Sydney Olympic, 25 points apiece. St George FC and Sydney Olympic on 19 points, so while a win would be a monumental step forward, stepping forward here is Mitchell. Malia draws a very good save out of Jack Kenny. Straight back to the feet of Malia though. Tries to weave around a couple and find a teammate. Adam Berry will have a go! Oof. It's not far away, I'll tell you what. Sasha Kozewski, meanwhile, is in close consultation with referee Adrian Arndt as well. Well, as we were saying, well, victory would represent a very good step forward indeed in terms of attempting to escape the relegation battle. Defeat, on the other hand, by no means catastrophic. Ben Berry back to Jack Kenny. Just opens up his body before sending it forward. It's perhaps the most impressive kicking range out of all the goalkeepers in the NPL New South Wales first grade setup. Jack Kenny, outstanding technique. Cooper Rogers, now Grimaldi. Tanaka immediately harassed and harried and forced back. Grimaldi will be able to dig it clear to the head of Qual. Wasn't too happy with the delivery, cutting a bit of an isolated figure on that occasion there, Alo Qual. Really have the support required around him. Tatafu, press triggered there as Malia came forwards. Tatafu able to switch it out to the far touchline, but Blacktown win it back in the middle of the park. Qual, Yej to utilise some width here, and now invert. Happy to just retain it and recycle it. Nikolovsky will send it all the way back to Cooper Rogers. We'll invite those in red jerseys coming forwards before clipping it out to Travis Major. Kozewski. Yej. So great amount of fluidity in the way that Blacktown City play. The combinations there, an example of which between Jej, Krzyzewski, Major, able to occupy each other's roles on the field, but they've turned it over in the middle of the park. It's delivered towards Pedersen, repelled initially. Monahan Viker is favourite to get there and does. First touch takes him wide. Second touch finds the feet of Louis Curry to Tafu. Jason. Forward it goes to Pedersen. Has Grimaldi all over him. Krzyzewski will rise to flick it on via his head. A little bit chaotic in that penalty area at times. Monahan Viker. Ben Berry assessing the options ahead of him, one of whom is Bedleg. Swept into the area and plucked out of the afternoon sky by Cooper Rogers. Into the final 10 minutes of the first stanza here at Landon Stadium. Blacktown maintaining the most slender of advantages here over St George City. St George searching desperately for a response. It's Bedleg. Again, harassed off it. Major linking up with Kuol. Again, the former Mariners combining there in Kuol and Krzyzewski. Jej. Blacktown looking to turn up the dial here a little bit. Malia measuring the cross. Numbers back quickly for St George. Major. Tanaka. Clipped in towards Jej. Wild swing at it, didn't really connect though. Nikolovsky will send it back forward, flicked on by Major. It's an awkward one for Alo Kuol to try and control. Clarkson sends it out to the near touchline for his captain, Solomon John Monahan Viker. O'Brien quickly back to win it back for his side. Jej will send it forwards. Too far from Alo Kuol though. O'Brien now finding his skipper in Major. Searching for the run there of Malia. Spin forced Jack Kenny to come perhaps a little further out of his area than he may have initially liked or hoped. But comfortable enough in dealing with it. Here's Rossello. Forced back by Tanaka. It's Giassen now. Rossello again. Flattish sort of delivery. Nikolovsky doesn't get the purchase required on the clearance, sends it straight into the sky. Pedersen will strike. Diving in there to atone for the failed clearance was Nikolovsky with an effective block. Curry able to evade the attention there of Jej. Monahan Viker. First time pass to find Curry. Wants the return pass as well. Won't receive it though. Sliding challenge from Nikolovsky is effective. Here's O'Brien. Berry lets it run out to Travis Major. has Malia on this near touch line. Instead opts to go into the channel for Alo Qual, who will strike first time. Didn't strike it cleanly though. He is the difference so far in this one. Alo Qual. The goal was really made though by Travis Major. Wonderful work in the lead up, and the delivery was absolutely sublime.
Step up, Ben!
Krzyzewski, bit of green grass to operate within here as he strides forward now. Opts to hold it up and await support, which he finds in the form of Yesh. I'll tell you what, Adam Berry was making a run across the top of the penalty spot, absolutely screaming for the ball there. He might receive it here. Instead it will be Tanaka. Has Ben Berry in his back. Does enough to win the throw. Major. Cross is blocked off, but does enough to win the corner. This is a fixture, of course, where Blacktown perhaps have had the better of exchanges. Last 9 fixtures across both the league and the cup have Blacktown winning 5, 3 draws, just a solitary win for St George City, which was at this venue in 2024. As the corner is swept in. Strike! Arriving from Mitch Malia! Lurking at the back stick with real dangerous intent. And just like that, Blacktown City are 2 goals to the good. The evergreen Mitch Malia, goal number 5 of the season, his first since back in round 15 against the Wanderers. And you just can't afford to give a player like Mitch Malia that kind of space anywhere inside the penalty area, because that's exactly what happens. What a time to score as well for Blacktown City. Just about on the cusp of half-time. A double their advantage. Smartly won in the middle of the park. Here's Alo Qual, able to turn, gets around Gideon Arok, looks to release Malia again. All the way to the byline, Mitch Malia. Maxim Yesh. Well, Blacktown have their tails up now. Krzyzewski. Happy to play keep ball. Fair enough too, with just over a minute or so to go, plus any time added on until the interval. They would be delighted to get back to the sheds with that 2-0 advantage. They've got some more defending to do here. Bedleg had his legs taken away from him. Certainly an easy one for referee Adrian Arndt to give. Louis Corey standing over the free kick, and a chance to perhaps create some chaos, create some carnage. Swept into the area by Khoury. Nodded clear, but it might come straight back at them. Well, that's effective from Kuszewski. Forcing St George City all the way back to Jack Kenny. Nodded clear this time by Kuol. Here's the latest goal scorer, Malia. Harassed and harried by Brodie Clarkson. Kuol will send it forward. Just the 1 minute of time to be added on here at Landon. Here's Clarkson. Just sweep it out to the far touchline. It's Tanaka though. Watched it all the way, and Yej with the big up and under. Malia, not a bad first touch. Links up with Major. Is able to drive inside. Finds a teammate who's bundled off it. Tanaka will strike. Blacktown City felt they could have had a free kick on the edge of the area, but referee Adrian Arndt just playing the advantage there as Tanaka was able to get the strike away on target as well. Drew the save outs of Jack Kenny. Here's Berry, Adam Berry of course. Sasha Kuszewski was making the overlapping run on this near touchline. Malia just wanted to play keep ball, but they haven't kept it for very long. Arok. Peep of the whistle from referee Adrian Arndt signals. That'll do for the first stanza here at Landon Stadium. A thoroughly professional opening 45 from Mark Crittenden's side. It was Alo Kuol who fired them into the lead in just the 17th minute. His first goal in Blacktown City colours, as you may have heard from stadium announcer there, Will Gotsis. They doubled their advantage right on the cusp of half-time, courtesy of the evergreen Mitchell Malia. That's the tail of the tape for the opening 45. We are off for a short break here at Landon Stadium, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back to bring you the second half in about 15 or so minutes' time. shifting inside. Bugaria spins. Kukuchka. Shifting one way and the other. Kukuchka! Duarte able to link up with Cornish. And now Lockie Scott has stolen a march on Ziggy Gordon here. Lockie Scott bursting into the area and finishing with aplomb. Cheaply giving the ball away there to Killian and giving the Wolves with a golden opportunity here for Cornish. 1 and 2 as well, if you don't mind. Still going here. Kukuchka pulled into the area. Strike. Goal! As support wide in the form of Nizam. Instead it goes centrally for Daniel Wong. Is this the moment? What a save again from Kunail. He's got some more work to do as it rattles the woodwork. Nodded forward. Wong! That is the moment.
Byron can stop him. Here comes Nicholas Olsen to leg it 1-0 and does just. He's very fortunate. That's a good ball. There's plenty of people there. Chance. Oh, and it can't be tapped in by Manly. It's still in the box, waiting for a shot, and it does find it in. And it's Darcy Burgess. Great ball. If Kimura can take it. Oh, what a touch. Kimura all the way through. Could it be two? It is. Oh, what a winner.
Major or Figuera. And Major sends him the wrong way, stares him down. Major, ball just gets away from him. Forced back. Nice turn from Jackson Brown. And how about that from Caleb Jackson Brown? Cross in again. Nikolovsky first tour, but the ball on the edge of the area falls to Marcic. First touch, goal! Michal Marcic comes on and with his first touch. Tanaka crosses in toward O'Brien and he makes it 3.
Kuda looking for Farinella. He's led Adianzio to the ball. Stewart coming through on the outside. Stewart on the tight angle. What an excellent finish. Sydney FC have got a double change in the wings. Junior Conde and Corey Cronin. Here's a pass from Caspers. It's an incisive ball. It's been missed by Zavadinos, and a gift has been presented. Appia's score. And that pass to Pizzuti is promising. Is this Sydney's moment? Pizzuti cuts it back, and stepping in was Conroy. Pizzuti with a drive. It's going to be volleyed in. Sydney are back in business. And it's Josh Brezet.
Touches an opposition half for Spirit up and high. And here's Keeley. And Keeley with the shot. And that's a terrific finish from Callum Keeley up into the top corner. Lovely pass. Skatarich looking for the ball back. Skatarich. Well, Skatarich, the ball is deflected away. And a most unlikely goal as the ball is being cleared. Nicholas Skatarich putting pressure on Jake. You can absolutely see your breath now, as can the players. And now here is Mustafoy. He's inside the box. Takes one touch. Mustafoy looks up, looking to find Keeley. And it's driven into the back post there. Petranos didn't quite catch it, but Kobayashi did. Can he release Kobayashi? He can't. He gets a touch here. And now Kobayashi's getting on the ball. Mustafoy is driving forward. He's onside. He's just got the goalkeeper to beat. Mustafoy is there. A terrific save. No, it's got through. What a finish to this game. Oh, there's a punch from Janjetovic.
It was on a lead, Nathan Roberts. Nathan Roberts trying to get possession. Ball played back to Malfarra. Malfarra has a crack. Malfarra does it once again. Changes for both sides, as we've mentioned. And now Quilligan works a ball towards the far post. There's a touch. Goes over the top of Kenny. Then the header. It's in. Pufflet. Fantastic.
And De Oliveira, and De Oliveira will make way now. De Oliveira put far too much on the last one. Wada goes direct! Superb! A sweet strike from Tomoki Wada!
Here he is with the corner. It's a good ball in, Sinot has to punch. It's back out with Franco Meyer! And how about that? Bernie on that underlapping run, gets into the area and lays it off for Jesic. And Marconi go bang bang. Down easy for Sekenis. He's looking to try and add something. Damien Sekenis gets Sunday Yona into the attack. Yona tries to go between defenders. Still has it, Sunday Yona. Sekenis with the header.
A very warm welcome indeed back to Seven Hills Landon Stadium, the venue, as we look to resume hostilities in this round 24 encounter between Blacktown City and St George City. It's like a change or two at the interval for St George City as they search for a response. And it is they who get us underway for the second stanza here in Seven Hills. Immediately looking to launch a raid, getting forward is Giassen. Tanaka will track this one down. That change at the interval for St George City. Hiroto Demoto introduced at the interval. Operates on that far touchline to try and inject a bit of a different dynamic, getting forward for St George City. They find themselves 2 goals behind here. Alo Kuol opening the scoring after 17 minutes. Nodding home from inside the 6-yard box, following some excellent endeavour in industry from Travis Major. Mitch Malia added the second right on the cusp of half-time. 2-0, of course, a dangerous scoreline here is Demoto. Grimaldi quickly across, covering Nikolovsky, who had slid in and allowed some inroads there for Demoto. Also, at the interval, the introduction of Bassem Sabah. Sporting the number 47 jersey, of course. Doesn't look like any changes at the interval for the hosts, Blacktown City. They've got some defending to do here, as this is whipped in by Demoto, right on top of Cooper Rogers, who came out to try and get a fist to it. Couldn't quite reach it though, had to travel through a sea of bodies. The final touch off one of those Blacktown bodies, so behind it goes for the first corner since the resumption of play. Sabah will make his way across to take. Wicked left foot to swing this one in. Very deep. Quoll rising highest above Demoto. Ben Berry will track it back down. Well, he'll let it run out into touch. Clarkson. Ben Berry. Pausing and assessing the options here, one of whom is Ben Giassen. Grimaldi had body position and happy to let it roll over the byline. Sent forward into the evening sky here by Cooper Rogers. Malia couldn't quite link up with Kuzevsky. Sabah first to it. Here's Adam Berry. Kuzevsky helps it on, looking for his former Mariners teammate in Quoll. Monahan Vaika getting there just ahead of Alo Quoll. Scrap in the middle of the park before Nick O'Brien sends it forward, but only succeeds in finding the touchline. We'll take the opportunity to bring you updates from elsewhere as well, as and when we can, at the Palace in that match of the round there. Sydney United currently leading Marconi by 1-0. If that result stands, it could have massive implications on the title race. Our focus firmly here at London Stadium as Rossello tries to get the better of Tanaka. Too handsy though for the referee's liking. Meanwhile, on the Central Coast in the League One men's competition, the Mariners have just equalised against Northern Tigers. That one apiece. Which in turn could have implications on the promotion race. Major. Yesh. Quol. Has Arok in his back, but emerges with it. Little nutmeg on the way through. Just unable to recover. Trying to play their way out of tight spaces here, and there's a coming together between Quol and Ben Berry. Quol's come off the worst of the two. Just one of those where both players went into the contest. The ball was there to be won. Both met it at the same time. Ben Berry, a ferocious competitor, so strong in the challenge. Quol back to his feet now as well. Good news for Blacktown. Here's Tanaka. Quol. Couldn't quite reel it in though as he looked to try and prod it towards Travis Major, and St George City emerged free and clear with it. Sabah, one of those introduced at half-time. Here's Pedersen. Rossello. What's building here? Arok. Giasson now. Closed down by Adam Berry. Smart little back heel left from Malia. Quol. Final touch off St George City. You can see the urgency and the intent in the opening exchanges of the second stanza here at London from St George City particularly. Trying to just dial things up a notch really, increase the tempo and the ball speed a bit. It's hoisted over the head of Gideon Arok. Monahan Vaika will track it back down though. Ben Berry. Ben Giasson wants it on this near touch line. It will come to him. Absolutely utilising the full width of the pitch there, Giasson. Smartly cuts out there by Yej. Here's Yej again. Driven straight into the back of Arok, but it pops out very fortuitously for O'Brien. Adam Berry will link up with Kuzevsky now. Kuzevsky again looking to get forwards. Back to Adam Berry. Nikolovsky and then Grimaldi. Travis Major now trying to have the beating of Monahan Vaika. A tough task indeed, Monahan Vaika. So good in those sort of situations, and St George City now look to create something in transition. It's Rossello. Doesn't have the beating of Tanaka though. Tanaka met by his opposite number 11 there in Giasson. Forced back to Grimaldi. Tanaka this time will look to drive forward on this near touch line. The peep of the whistle. Something in back play there. Looks like Jon Pedersen perhaps may have taken a bit of contact in back play there. Blacktown hoist it back into play. There's a few discussions as Blacktown did play the ball into play, and into touch, I should say, and very sportingly indeed. Ben Berry returns possession to Blacktown City. How's the nutmeg on that far touchline from Kuzevsky? Major. Kuzevsky again looking to make some inroads, getting forward, and Monahan Viker just about getting away with it. O'Brien. Malia. Weaving. Delivering. Stood up towards Yej. Just ahead of Blacktown's number 10. Qual coming over to effect the challenge, illegally so. Just putting Stefano Rossello into touch there. Not afraid to put himself about, of course, is Alo Qual, as Jack Kenny sends it forwards. Qual looks to help it on, but he was the furthest player forward for Blacktown City. The towering header from Nikolovsky to find him initially. Grimaldi, Tanaka, he's just lost his bearings momentarily. Grimaldi recovers, but only as far as Rossello! Was there a touch on the way through from Cooper Rogers? St George City think so. Adrian Arndt says no. So just dragged a little bit there by Stefano Rossello. As St George City continue to search for a response here. Malia contesting against Ben Berry. Ben Berry rising highest. Tomoto. Pedersen, who's left it short of Clarkson and allowed Nick O'Brien to steal in here. Bit of space to operate in. Berry. O'Brien again. Working their combinations. Qual is offside though. He does love to play off the shoulder, of course, Alo Qual. That's the risk that you do run. Playing so high off the shoulder of the last defender. Occasionally you will draw the ire of the Lions person. Case in point there. Yej. Just feeling in that instance perhaps that just about anywhere will do. Justin hoisting it back into play. Tanaka will clear as far as Qual. Got stuck a little awkwardly there for Alo Qual. Ben Berry able to effect the challenge and win it back on halfway for St George City. Here he is again, and there's a coming together between the brothers, Adam and Ben Berry. Well, little remorse shown after the challenge there from Adam Berry. A wry smile as well, perhaps. A couple of words with his teammate there, Maxim Yej. The shades of backyard football growing up there, perhaps, between Adam Berry and Ben Berry. Nikolovsky just cushioning that one back to Cooper Rogers. He'll roll it out to the feet of Grimaldi. Tanaka. Grimaldi wanted the return pass, but it was closed down by Rossello. Grimaldi just urging a bit more movement ahead of him as he looks to work the levers to hoist this one back into play. No one contesting that though for Blacktown City. Rossello giving chase forlornly, realising that it was a lost cause. Grimaldi spinning and clipping one forward, only to the feet of Gideon Arok though. Can't quite bring it under his spell. No shortage of suitors to take the throw, and eventually it is Grimaldi who resumes hostilities. And oof, tell you what, Bedleg has worn that fair and true in the face, and oof, it's all getting a little bit testy out there. Adrian Arndt's got a bit of sorting out to do here as well, as words continue to be exchanged between Maxim Liège and Gideon Arrock. Rossello getting involved as well. Travis Major trying to ensure that cooler heads prevail. Will eventually be a Blacktown City throw to resume proceedings here after all is said and done. Malia will again leave it for Grimaldi. Tempers fraying somewhat a little. St George City continue to be frustrated. Through the hour mark here at Landon Stadium, as Grimaldi looks to switch the point of attack to his former Marconi teammate there in Kuzevsky. Those two coming through the Boys Youth League together, of course, as we said earlier. Kuzevsky, as we said earlier in the piece, one of those mid-season recruits for Blacktown City, perhaps influenced by his great friend there in Nathan Grimaldi. He had no shortage of suitors in the window. Interest from a number of NPL clubs, as well as A-League and overseas interest, but was intrigued by the prospect of the project here at Blacktown City. Jason. Is Bedleg bursting into the area? Has that struck a hand? Yes, says Adrian Arndt. Meanwhile, Nathan Grimaldi is down on the turf, writhing in pain there. Will require some treatment, Nathan Grimaldi. Physio waved on, just paying some attention to that left ankle of Nathan Grimaldi. Who's been integral at the back, particularly today for Blacktown City. Who still maintain that 2-goal advantage that they did at half-time. With about half an hour or so to play. Grimaldi's back to his feet now, albeit somewhat gingerly. Blacktown City perhaps readying a change. Seb Hayward has just been stripped and ready for action. Blacktown City temporarily reduced to 10, with Grimaldi having received treatment as he awaits to be invited back onto the field of battle. Here's Qual. Liège. The contact, or the challenge I should say, from Pedersen was effective on Maxim Liège. Plenty of debate on the pitch as to the direction of the throw-in. It will go forward from St George City. Only as far as Travis Major, though. Here's Adam Berry. Sash Kuzevsky. Blacktown return to their full complement of 11 now, with the reintroduction of Grimaldi. Monahan Vaika has a bit of a task to figure out there, and what a save from Jack Kenny. Mitchell Malia was once again causing absolute headaches for Solomon John Monahan Vaika. Really inventive from the 34-year-old, looking to just clip it ever so delicately over the head of Jack Kenny, who was at full stretch to tip it wide. Tough to do as a goalkeeper as well, to be able to reach when you are tracking back like that. Blacktown City will have another corner. Kuzevsky across to take. Swung in by Kuzevsky to the back post. Rising was Major, but couldn't quite guide it goalwards. Ball behind for a goal kick. We've seen Kuzevsky's deliveries over the years. Throughout his time at the Central Coast Mariners, is a wonderful deliverer of a set piece. St George City are going to go to their bench again here. Gideon Arok, one of those withdrawn. As is Lucas Bedleg. Malik Armin introduced, as is Spencer Webster. So 4 changes in total for St George City. Blacktown City yet to go to their bench. But as we said, Seb Hayward stripped and readied for action, undergoing his final stretches. Giassen hoisted into the area. Clarkson will look to send it back into the area. Giassen now wide. Coming across quickly there is Mitchell Malia. And nodded into touch by Tanaka. Giassen goes short from the throw in this time. Malik Armin can't make any further inroads, and that clearance, again, a case of just about anywhere will do from Yesh. Qual brings it out of the evening sky. Giassen emerges with it, only momentarily. Stealing in there was Adam Berry. High, swirling sort of ball there. Monahan Viker had a long time to watch it out of the sky. There's Webster, bundled off it by Qual, and Major emerges with it. Adam Berry and Yesh, Grimaldi, never coming together off the ball in back play there as well between Major and Giassen. Ben Berry cuts out that channel pass, and Clarkson looks to launch a foray forward immediately for Demoto. Nikolovsky. Sabah. Bursting forward there, Sabah, but couldn't stick the pass. Cooper Rogers happy to wind down as much of the clock as possible before eventually launching one forwards. Major couldn't quite reach it with his head. Qual able to with his right boot. Over the top it goes again. Monahan Viker had body position ahead of Major. Major able to wrap his boot around it. It's comfortable for Jack Kenny. Quick release as well as a good one from Kenny. Armin helps it on. Read again there by Nikolovsky, and Maxim Yesh challenged there by Giassen. Final touch off Ben Giassen. Mark Crittenden now will look to use the opportunity to make that change. Seb Hayward ready to enter the fray for the final 20 or so minutes here at London. Mitchell Malia has got through a mountain of work this afternoon, will be the one withdrawn. Of course, has a goal to show for his efforts as well. Scoring that second on the cusp of half-time. Goal number 5 of the season for Mitch Malia. Monahan Viker. Fizz into the feet there of Clarkson. Sabah. Marcelo, well, just on a different wavelength there with Bassem Sabah. think it's fair to say that's a fairly cheapish sort of turnover there from Stefano Rossello, who is usually such an excellent technician.
Stadium, 67 minutes gone. It still remains City United 58-1.
Oh, you may have just heard that update from London Stadium announcer there, Will Gotsis. The Palace still 1-0 between Sydney United and Marconi. Sydney United hold the advantage in that one, as this is attempted to be swung in, but takes a big touch on the way through, and behind it goes for another Blacktown City corner. Maxim Yej makes his way across to take. Kuzevsky happy to leave this one. He will lurk outside the penalty area with real dangerous intent, though, will Sash Kuzevsky. Swung in by Yej. Kenny can't quite claim. Bit chaotic in the area, but Demoto able to hook it clear. Back out for Yej, whose first touch let him down. Just overcooked it there a little bit there, did Maxim Yej. There's Jack Kenny with another long, high, swirling ball forwards. Kuzevsky meets it with his head. Quol juggling his way through a couple before handling it. Rossello skips around 1 and 2 very nicely, and a third for good measure. Here's Pedersen. Grimaldi, who immediately converged upon him. St George able to retain it though, and the strike will come, stinging the palms there of Cooper Rogers. Webster was following in, looking to feed off any sort of scraps that may arrive, but Rogers able to clutch it to his chest at the second time of asking. Quol. Justin, always favourite to reach it first set. There's Webster. Can't return it though. Can't retain it, I should say. Adam Berry able to steal in, but only momentarily. St George City now looking to turn up the dial. Pedersen though just running out of real estate on this near touch line. Nikolovsky happy to watch that roll harmlessly into touch. Strangely, all the spare balls seem to have disappeared here at Landon Stadium. That one bounces off the seating just adjacent to us here and straight back into the field of play. Grimaldi hoisting it forwards. Travis Major now. 1-on-1 with Monahan Viker again. Monahan Viker wins that battle. Tanaka does well to bustle through a couple of challenges there, finding Quol on the edge of the area. Major tries to weave through traffic now. Tanaka has Yej in support. He just pauses and plays it back to the feet of Tanaka. Fizzed in towards the head of Quol. Demoto able to effect the clearance. Nikolovsky there first. Just ahead of Malik Amin. Kuzevsky on the turn. Good challenge there from Nikolovsky to win it straight off the toe of Malik Amin, and Blacktown City perhaps look to probe forward in search of a third hit. Tanaka Adam Berry. Grimaldi thought about looking for that raking crossfield pass, instead rolls it to the feet of Kuzevsky. Travis Major, who's been buzzing around everywhere across that front line for Blacktown City this afternoon. Tanaka tries to make some inroads going forwards. He'll get another opportunity here, Tanaka. Hayward just slipped but able to retake his feet rather quickly. Yej, good feet to take him away from Demoto. Travis Major drifting wide. Well defended though from Bassam Sabak. But only momentarily. Major wins it back immediately and delivers with the outside of the boots. It's a long way over and behind Alo Kual. Nikolovsky wins it in the air immediately, initially I should say, but Pedersen wins it back. Adam Berry not giving up on that, and Demoto and Kual just on different wavelengths there. Tanaka, of course, my apologies. Monahan Viker now looking to try and take control as he strides forward from the heart of defence, but only succeeds in turning it over. Here's Travis Major. Kuzevsky is streaming forward into the area. He'll have a go as well. Oh! What a finish that is! Sasha Kuzevsky, take a bow. His first goal in Blacktown City colours. And once again, look at what it means. Just about everyone coming forward to celebrate that one with Sash Kuzevsky. And again, credit has to go in the build-up to Travis Major, who intelligently found Kuzevsky. An absolute lung-bursting run into the area, intelligently so, in the channel from Kuzevsky. He adds a third and a real exclamation point on what has been a thoroughly professional performance from this Blacktown City outfit. Blacktown City may just go to their bench once more. They will indeed here. Jack O'Brien and Jacob Maniti both stripped and ready for action. And Sasha Kuzevsky, well, that will be his final touch of the afternoon, as he is summoned to the bench. Not a bad final touch to have either. Just delicately lifting it over the head of Jack Kenny. A wonderful finish from Sash Kuzevsky, as he's embraced on his way off the pitch by Jacob Maniti and the Blacktown City coaching staff as well there. Very warm reception from Mark Crittenden particularly. Alo Kual also withdrawn. St George City also going to their bench. Tep has taken the fields for the final 12 or so minutes here at London. Coincidentally, with that Sash Kuzevsky goal, of course, it means that three former Central Coast Mariners all find themselves on the score sheet today. Mitchell Malia, Sash Kuzevsky and Alo Kual. As Giassen looks to try and find a response for St George City. Tanaka slicing his clearance somewhat. Tell you what, if Travis Major could find a goal today, that will be 4 former Mariners on the score sheet, of course. Tanaka, Grimaldi. Why not throw Adam Berry into the mix for good measure there as well? Giasson spinning around and evading the attention of Yesh. Quickly across is that man, Adam Berry, but the challenge affected by Yesh was a long way after the ball had gone. Peep of the whistle from Adrian Arndt will give Stefano Rossello an opportunity to whip something into the area here. Doesn't beat the first defender though. Tanaka. Clearance really sliced into touch there. Is Giasson. Swept in by Amin, repelled initially. There's a tussle here between Ben Berry and Jack O'Brien. Ben Berry winning out. Is Major. Oh, the party trick's coming out now. Major gets there ahead of Tep Tep, but Tep Tep, cool as you like, not diving in. Not allowing Travis Major to take it past him. As Clarkson now sporting the armband, sliding one forward. Pedersen's made an interesting run, as has Malik Amin. He will receive and pull the trigger as well. Dragged just wide from Malik Amin. Wasn't all too far away. I'll tell you what, Cooper Rogers certainly more than interested in it, as the strike did come through a couple of sets of legs as well. But so far, as we tick into the 83rd minute, Cooper Rogers' sheets remain clean, unblemished. Yesh nods it down. Tanaka. Seb Hayward absolutely pleading for the ball on this near touchline. Grimaldi may receive it now. Well, no, Tanaka is converged upon by a couple of those St George substitutes in Spencer Webster and Malik Amin. Has his legs taken away from him though. Another change being readied for Mark Crittenden's Blacktown City outfit. I'll bring you news on that in just a moment. Nathan Grimaldi now spinning away from Amin. Inside it goes for Tanaka, who looks to go through the gears here. Tanaka halted by Ben Berry though, and they'll have to be rapid in tracking back here, and they are just about. As Hayward tries to spin around the attention of Webster. The whistle goes though. Major. Profitable afternoon for Blacktown's captain Travis Major. Of course, 2 assists to his name. Both very intelligent, both wonderful deliveries. The first one straight onto the head of Alo Kuol. The second one finding Sash Kazevsky making that run in the channel for Blacktown's third goal. Yesh just prods it forward for Hayward. We'll get the return pass. It is fouled on the way through by Tep Tep. perhaps a foul that he needed to make there as well, because Jack O'Brien had made a run in the half space. Had Yej been able to find him, it would have presented a golden opportunity for Blacktown City to add a fourth. Adam Berry resuming hostilities here. O'Brien fizzing one forward. Tep-Tep's going to have to be alert to it, and is. Blacktown City will just hold off making that change for the time being. I can't tell you it's Riley Nolan who's been stripped and readied for action. Nick O'Brien. Good strength and good feet. Finds Adam Berry. Nearly got himself tangled in knots there, but able to recover. Nikolovsky. Clipping one forward, but only finding the head of Bassam Sabah. Here's Clarkson. Ben Berry just wanted a bit more movement in front of him, perhaps. Clarkson finding just that. Sweeping one out to that far touchline. Numbers flooding forward. Red jerseys converging upon the penalty area. Adam Berry will win it back initially, but it's going to come straight back at them here. The strike will come from the edge of the area. Not far away at all. Again, Cooper Rogers was at absolutely full stretch there. As that one just flashing agonisingly over the crossbar. We can bring you confirmation on that change now for Blacktown City. Travis Major is being withdrawn after a fairly profitable afternoon at the office for him. 2 assists to his name, as we said. The first one perhaps the pick of the bunch. And Riley Nolan, of course, his replacement, as Blacktown look to navigate these final 5 or so minutes here at London Stadium. Here's Jack O'Brien. Seb Hayward's made an interesting sort of foray forward, but the flag goes up to deny him. Jack Kenny wasn't to know. He did get fingertips to it. But we'll never really know. Oh, there's a slip here from Giassin. He's able to retake his feet, but it has invited the challenge from Maxim Yej. Giassin does ever so well to recover, in all fairness. Clarkson with that raking crossfield diag. Before Nick O'Brien puts a real sort of exclamation point on the clearance. Tep. Clip delivery into the area. Giassin will nod it back into the area again. Adam Berry doesn't affect the clearance, so here's Clarkson. Sabah. Rossello. Still Rossello. Again, all the lanes occupied by Blacktown City, and it's Nathan Grimaldi on a foray forward. What's cooking here for Riley Nolan? Bearing down on the area, Nolan will strike. Saved comfortably by Jack Kenny. St George City had just committed numbers forward as they go in search of what I'm sure at this point would be little more than mere consolation. That's the danger. Of course, Blacktown City can be rapid in transition there. Nathan Grimaldi was leading the charge from the back. They'll have some more defending to do here, Blacktown City. Amin. Never really looked all too likely off the boot there. That effort from Malik Amin, always rising. You can see what he was trying to do, just wrap his boot around it and find that far top corner. Casting no real sort of shadow on Cooper Rogers' goal. Well, in the League One men's, it has finished on the Central Coast. Northern Tigers getting the job done after a scare from the hosts. That one finishing 2-1 at the Palace It's still 1-0 in favour of Sydney United. Here at London, it's 3 in favour of the hosts as they look to make it 4 as Hayward bearing down on goal. The strike will come. It's a very good save from Kenny. Initially, the follow-up didn't have the same quality as the initial effort there from Tanaka. We're going to see 4 minutes of time added on here at London Stadium. Through the regulation 90 into stoppage time we go. Sabak. Rosello couldn't quite reel it in. Rogers will just try and send it half a world away. Up into that grandstand there on the far side. Sunday the 2nd of August at 3 p.m. on behalf of the big broader community today. Blacktown Football Club and Tap. Being kept honest. Sending it forwards. Grimaldi gets there ahead of Armin. Nick O'Brien to retrieve it. Nikolovsky. Maniti and Grimaldi combining. Grimaldi now looking to show off his expansive range of passing. Smartly nodded back to Jack Kenny there by Bassem Sabah. Well, they're coming together here. James Nikolovsky, the aggressor. Adrian Arndt issuing a free kick following the coming together there between Nikolovsky and Jon Pedersen. And perhaps a chance for a late sight of goal here for St George City. Rosello standing over this one, awaiting to deliver. Will he go direct for goal? Perhaps he will indeed, Rosello. Again, that has been the story of St George City's afternoon. Didn't look likely off the boot of Stefano Rosello. Well, Blacktown, of course, hit the road next week as they travel down to Macedonia Park to take on Wollongong Wolves, who themselves have been in a bit of a rut over the last few weeks. Defeat last night to the SD Raiders, the 10-man SD Raiders as well, of course, who had a player sent off after just 22 minutes. Of course, prior to that, they were defeated by Sydney Olympic as well. What looked like a promising finals charge is amounting to not that. They take on fellow top 6 hopefuls, Sydney FC, back here at London Stadium in just a couple of weeks' time as well. As this is sent into the area once more, and Rogers will pluck it out of the evening sky here in Seven Hills. As for St George City, who now look just about certain to make it winless in their last 4, they're back at home at Penshurst next weekend, taking on Sydney United 58. They've got a very tough run in indeed, as Ben Berry is forced to turn this one into touch. They take on Sydney United next week, Marconi the following week, and Rockdale the week after that. The task at hand certainly doesn't get any easier for St George City. Spinning is Nolan. O'Brien. Adam Berry, Maniti now will strike from a long way out. Always high and wide from Maniti. A peep of the whistle from Adrian Arndt says that will be that here in Seven Hills. Another famous victory for Blacktown City. 2 wins on the spin for Mark Crittenden's side as they take a monumental step forward towards divisional safety. It was Alo Kuol who opened the scoring after 17 minutes. A header from inside the 6-yard box following some wonderful industry from Travis Major. Blacktown doubled their advantage on the cusp of half-time, courtesy of the evergreen Mitchell Malia. Sasha Kozewski adding an exclamation point with a wonderful, deft finish over the head of St George's custodian Jack Kenny. That's how it finished, 3-0 and 3 points here for the hosts at Landon Stadium. It's been an absolute pleasure having your company, of course, as we round out round 24 action. But from myself, Pete Pryor, I'll see you all next time. From me, it's bye for now.